Diane Lane has long been respected for her steady presence in film, known for performances that highlight emotional depth, elegance, and quiet strength. Her career has been built on consistency and craft, rather than controversy, earning her a place among actors whose work speaks for itself. However, like many public figures, she has also experienced how quickly a fleeting moment can be magnified when viewed through the lens of celebrity culture. In an era before social media, when photographs carried far more weight in shaping public perception, even an unplanned or casual snapshot could become the center of widespread attention. What might have been an ordinary moment in daily life was often reframed into something far larger by headlines and speculation. The nature of media in a different era. During the height of the 1990s media landscape, celebrity photography operated in a very different environment than it does today. Public figures were frequently followed by photographers in everyday settings, and images were often captured without context or consent in a modern sense. These photos would then circulate through magazines and tabloids, where storytelling sometimes prioritized attention over accuracy. In such an environment, small, unintended moments could be exaggerated into dramatic narratives. This approach shaped how audiences perceived celebrities, often focusing more on appearance or isolated incidents than on their broader achievements or professional contributions. When context is lost in storytelling. In situations like this, the absence of context played a major role in how stories were received. A single frame, removed from its original setting, could be interpreted in ways that did not reflect reality. For Diane Lane, as with many actors of that time, an off-guard moment was presented in a way that drew disproportionate attention. Rather than being understood as a brief and ordinary incident, it became part of a larger media conversation that overshadowed her ongoing work. This pattern was not unique to her, but reflected a broader tendency within entertainment coverage during that period, where sensational framing often took precedence over balanced reporting. Evolving perspectives on privacy and public image. Looking back from a modern perspective, there is a clearer understanding of how these narratives were shaped and why they often feel exaggerated in hindsight. Conversations around privacy, media ethics, and public scrutiny have evolved significantly. Today, there is greater awareness of how easily images can be misinterpreted and how important it is to consider context before forming conclusions. This shift in perspective encourages more empathy toward public figures who experienced intense scrutiny in earlier decades, especially when their private moments were turned into public discussion without their intention. A career defined by consistency and strength despite moments of tabloid attention. Diane Lane's professional legacy remains rooted in her work. She continued to take on roles that highlighted her range and depth as an actress, maintaining a career that spans decades of respected performances. Rather than being defined by isolated media narratives, her reputation has been shaped by longevity, talent, and dedication to her craft. This resilience underscores an important distinction between temporary media noise and lasting artistic contribution. In the broader view of her career, it is her body of work that stands out, reinforcing the idea that meaningful achievement endures long after fleeting headlines fade.